Hey, what up guys, John from Mongo Fishing. So today's video is what do I do with a brand new buzzbait. You know, this is the perfect time of year to be throwing buzzbaits, and so I figured I'd show you what I do with a buzzbait fresh out of the package on how to make it a better buzzbait, a little more effective, more efficient, and so that's what today's video is. All right, so I take it out of the package. This is a Castaic Atlas buzzbait, 1/2 ounce. Now, for my personal preference, this skirt's a little too long, okay? Because here's your hook. Skirt's coming down, you know, an inch or so past that. So I'm going to trimming this up. Me personally, just trim it, I don't know, down near, closer to the hook itself. Okay. Now, to make this blade sound a little better, right now, there's a little bit of squeak to it. I'm not sure if you can hear that. I want more squeak. So what I'm going to do is take a pair of pliers, and I'm going to bend this part right here. I'm going to straighten that out so I can take the blade off. Okay? All right, so I straightened it out. I'm going to slide this little piece right here and the blade right off. Now, take a file. If you don't have a big file, or if you have a bait that this little part's crimped on and you can't slide that off, then get yourself a jeweler's file. You can buy a little jeweler file pack, like 10 bucks, and basically it's a small file. You get a file, but all you're going to do is this part of the wire is too slick right now. Okay, you want this blade having friction. You want it making noise when it's spinning. So since I have the ability to use the big file, I'm going to. So basically you want to scratch this all up. You don't want that part brand new. It's really important for it to be scratched up in the contact points right here and along here where the blade is actually going to be touching, right? That's where it's the most important for it to be scuffed up. So you don't need to scuff up the whole entire thing. Okay. This wire right here is all sorts of scuffed up now. Okay. Really, really scuffed up. It's no longer smooth. Second part, I want the back of this little part right here, right there where it loops through, I want that nice and flat. Right now it has a slight angle to it, and they typically seem to be that way. Most buzzbaits come out of the factory that way. I want it nice and flat. So bend it flat like that. Now, I want to take my file and I want to scuff that up also. Doesn't need to be scuffed up a lot. I just don't want it smooth. Okay. This little part, the very first part that you pulled off, I'm going to scuff up this flat side also. Okay. So we put everything back together. Make sure that little bead is still on there. If your buzzbait comes with one. Obviously this Atlas comes with one. Get that back on. You want this scuffed up edge to be touching that scuffed up edge. Okay, so slide that back on. And we're going to bend this back in place again. Okay, that's bent back in place. Now the last step is we don't want that bottom piece to be able to slide around. Okay, so we're going to put it where we want it. We're going to crimp it in place. Okay, so that's in place. So now what's happening is you have a lot of friction happening when this blade spins, so it should be a louder blade. A little squeakier. Now to make this even louder and break it in even better, what you do is you zip tie it to your car antenna, or driving down the highway, blast your heater or your air conditioner or whatever, and hold this directly in front of the vent. And basically just causes this blade to spin a lot, and it's the equivalent of, you know, thousands of casts. And so it's causing that friction, and basically you just breaks in this this buzzbait a little faster, makes it a squeakier buzzbait, and therefore ultimately calling in the fish a little better. So that's the first thing I do to every buzzbait, is I squeak it. Make them a little louder. Now, adding a toad. I add toads to most of my buzzbaits. A toad or some sort of soft plastic for multiple reasons. One, it adds a little weight to your bait, but not weight that's going to make it sink faster. Just weight that's going to make it so you can throw it a little further. Okay? So you add yourself a toad on there. It's bulked up your profile a little bit. It's going to add a little buoyancy, so when you cast this thing out and it hits and you start reeling it back, it's going to get up on plane a little faster. Because ultimately that's what you're trying to do. I mean, this is a topwater bait for those of you who have never thrown a buzzbait. It's going to sink like a rock, but you don't want it to. It hits the water, start reeling. This added bulk of the back is going to help it get up on plane and stay up on the surface a little better. Also, when a fish bites it, he's going to want to hold on a little better because he's actually feeling something that feels like food versus feeling just a large chunk of metal and well, metal. A little bit of skirt. Now he's got something chewy. Now he's got some food. So that's the other thing. Add a toad. Now, if you find out that you're missing some bites, you can add a trailer hook. And all you have to do is just slide the trailer hook right over top like that. Depending on the trailer you're using, it may get in the way, it may cause problems, it may not. So, you know, you're just gonna have to mess with that and find out. But that's that, guys. Super simple, super easy. If the weather is good tomorrow, we may do a second part of this and actually go take it out and throw it. So, brand new Atlas buzzbait. Can't wait to use it. Thank you guys very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, go ahead and hit that subscribe button right down there. Looks like me holding a fish. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up and drop a comment below. Feel free to ask any questions. Again, guys, thank you very much for watching. As always, get out on the water, be safe, and go stick some lips.